Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Hello, my gorgeous kings and queens and spiritual besties who tune into this podcast every single damn week. I love you all. Thank you for being here again. And for you newbies that may be tuning in for the first time in this episode, hey, welcome. I'm Jess Paul. I'm here to help you manifest a life that you love and give you the loving kick up the ass that you need. Which is my strong point, guys. Like, as a coach, I will kick you up the ass as many times as you need because you're all capable of absolute magic. You all are. So, welcome. So, guys, this week, I'm actually going to be talking about a subject that I freaking love, and it's actually come up in a few polls that I've done on Instagram, kind of just asking you guys what you want to hear about. And again, this is one thing about me as a coach, is that I am just all about tapping into that energy of complete bad bitch visibility, making shit happen, the whole damn vibe. That's me, right? And somebody wrote in and basically just said, you know, Jess, I want to hear about that main character energy. How to tap into main character energy. So this is what we're going to be chatting about today, guys. And also when I was kind of thinking about this, really in my mind, I just see this as like celebrity energy. That energy that you're in where all eyes are on you and you are making shit happen and your life is just working in, you know, you're manipulating your energy in your favor and you're just creating the life that you want to create. You're 100% in control, right? And it's that main character energy that is going to see you the success that you are craving in your life, in your career, in your relationships, in everything. So we're going to dive into that, all about that energy in today's episode. Something that I love to chat about. But before we do, I'm obviously going to give you my little life update, as I always do every single week, so that you guys can keep up to date with what's going on in the JP world. But also I want to add in a little section. I want to add in a little spiritual spice section to the start of my podcast episodes right now, because as you're like my OG listeners will be aware, I have been going through a second spiritual awakening this year. As of January 2022, a lot has been happening. If you go back on my episodes, I talk about how I chose to spend New Year's Eve alone this year. Like, I've got a whole episode on it. Like, go back and I can't remember what number it is, but just go back on it and you'll find it. And it's really interesting because I was totally called to stay in this new year and spend it on my own. And basically, like, this, ever since that, I have just been reaching whole new levels of consciousness and working on some crazy things in my own time, like in behind the scenes of my business. And also, you know, working on now adding a lot of that into the fully upgraded MMM Academy, which will be coming out. Guys, I cannot wait. So this is something I'm working on at the moment. This is all behind the scenes stuff. And it's all going to be like announced, but I've been adding lots of things in. But because I've been working so much on this second spiritual awakening, I wanted to start adding in at the start of these episodes, like bits and bobs of the spiritual things that I've been going through that can maybe help you guys. And just like little snippet, again, like life updates, but on a very purely spiritual sense, because we're unafraid to talk about that here on the podcast, guys. Like, you know, I just really want to encourage all of you that are maybe going through a spiritual awakening or feel like you are or don't really know if you are, but you're dead into this spiritual stuff. Just freaking get in this community and be unapologetic. Be unapologetic about it, right? This is going to like tie into some of the stuff I'm talking about today in today's episode, but So I'm adding in this spiritual spice section to the start of my podcast. So I'm gonna go straight into that. I'm gonna go straight into that now for you guys. So today's spiritual spice, right? I have been, which I kind of mentioned, like I've been investing in energy clearing sessions this year. And a lot has been coming up for me, which has been fantastic. But one of the things my mentor said to me recently was go and get some aquamarine crystal, right? There's a number of reasons for that in what I've been working through. But anyway, I just went for a big old crystal haul because I freaking love to go crystal shopping. And and I went there and got some aquamarine, can't say that, aquamarine. And then I went and I just got a little bit carried away, as I do. And so I ended up getting some more Carnelian, which is because I am actually working a little bit as well, guys, on trying to get better at my dating life. Full disclaimer, I mean, that's something I'm working on, entirely different story. But it's got a bit of Carnelian for that. More Citrine, because I fucking love Citrine. It's my favorite crystal. And basically, I came out the shop and I bought all these crystals. And then I went for lunch with my little sister and I realized I'd been overcharged. So I was like, okay. I went back into the crystal shop on the way back and I said, listen, guys, I think you've overcharged me, but don't worry, you know, like, am I just able to pick up another crystal? And they were like, oh, sure, sorry. Like, yeah, go for it. And the woman there, I know her because I'm in there all the freaking time. She opens up the drawer and she's like, oh, what about this one? And she just picks out this crystal. Obviously, you guys can't see it on the podcast, but I will post a picture on my Instagram. And I was like, oh, I would have never really been drawn to that. And this crystal, I then Googled. It's called Unakite. If anybody has ever heard of that before, I had never heard of it. And I looked up the meaning of this crystal. And it is connected to opening up your third eye, which is what I'm doing at the moment. Plus, really grounding yourself in terms of working on your heart chakra and connecting the emotions that you're feeling in your heart chakra around opening up your third eye, right? Just basically everything that I am working on myself and that I have been working on at the start of 2022. And I was like, okay, so this was a direct, and this again, like, guys, eyes open to the miracles. This again was a complete manifestation, because if I hadn't have been overcharged and I didn't decide to go back to the shop and go and get another crystal, this crystal wouldn't have jumped out to me. This was supposed to be with me right now. So that's my little spiritual spice of today. And I am going to link, I'll put in my show notes what these crystals are called so you can go and research them yourself. As I said, I got Aquamarine, Carnelian, Citrine, more Citrine, and Unakite. And you can do your own little research into that, because again, like, you whether you're into crystals or not, guys, like, this is just the universe's way of showing you that there's certain energies that are supposed to be in your life supporting you right now, whatever, and it's just really super fucking interesting. So I'm gonna link that for you, but that's my little bit of spiritual spice for this week that I have been looking into myself. And I'll be talking more about, you know, these clearing sessions and what I'm going through, just so that you guys can come on the journey with me. So any questions, as always, DM me on Instagram and I will be there to chat to you all. Now, just really quickly, my life update for this week is I am on my way to London again. I'm always back and forth to London. It's like my second home, always has been, because I lived there for many years. But this is actually going to be a whole few days of fully focusing in again on my acting career, which again, for my OG listeners, you will know I am an actor and been fully manifesting in that area for many, many years, and lots of exciting things have already happened for me. But actually, another little manifestation. So I was actually invited to a film premiere of a new short film, and this was again just pretty unexpected, really. Connected with a like very, you know, established and doing very well director at the moment, and literally just manifested free tickets to this event to go out with the team and producers, writers, actors afterwards as well. So again, like, eyes open to miracles, as I always say, because these are just the little manifestations that fly in when you're vibrating on that frequency. So I've just manifested this free trip to London, and I'm also going to be tying that in with connecting with my writing partner again. Because again, guys, disclaimer, I am writing a sitcom at the moment. Not really spoken about that on the podcast, really. These are, again, things that are just manifesting in the background for me, things that I am constantly and consistently working on, because one thing about me is that I do the damn thing. And you can only do the damn thing when you are in energetic alignment, which is why I live and breathe this manifestation practice, and which is why you guys are listening, right? So all of these things manifest for me because I'm always doing the damn thing. And whether or not I speak about that, it's always happening consistently in the background for me. So these are the things as well, guys, when I talk about quantum leaps and how sometimes I can get on the podcast and be like, oh, I've manifested this. It's insane. And you guys listening might be like, wow, how did you do that? Well, it's because of all the work I do. It's because of the consistent work and habits that I put into place to create that reality for myself. So it's the baby steps, guys. So there's a lot of that goes on for me. So this week as I say, there's a lot of focus in there on my acting career again. Going to be doing a lot of networking, meeting some really cool people, getting down and writing even further with my writing partner, and just having a great time in London, catching up with people, catching up with friends, because I've got lots of friends down in London. Okay, guys, let's dive into today's episode all about main character energy. That freaking celebrity energy that people are drawn to. Because if we want to manifest anything in our life, right, in terms of visibility, because a lot of my community do, right? There's a lot of you guys listening that are either actors yourselves, or you're business owners that want to progress in your businesses, or you are just like, you're just wanting to, let's say, it could be anything, guys, wanting to manifest a relationship into your life, or you're wanting to just manifest more confidence in general. This is what this episode is really centered around. Like, you want to be the main character in your own life. And a lot of us can like fall into a habit where we actually become the secondary character in our life, because we just don't put ourselves out there, guys. We just do not show up in that unapologetic energy of, this is my freaking life and I am the main character here, so I am going to dictate what the hell goes on in my life, right? Whereas a lot of us are, through being conditioned and taught certain negative things in our lives, like, we just kind of go through this, like, the motions in our life, and we go, well, this is all my life really is then, isn't it? And you're just in this kind of like motionless place of like, well, this is just it, you know, this is all it is. But actually you can have so much more, because when you step into the shoes of this main character energy, you begin to write your story. And you got to understand that basically the whole premise of what I teach is that you write your own story. You are controlling how your life plays out. You are manipulating the energy in your own life to create the life that you want to live, right? You are 100% in control. Now that, guys, does not mean that you're in control of what anybody else does. You are the main character in your life, right? And so that is the person who shows up unapologetically, consistently in her or his power, and, you know, owns it, basically, just fucking owns it. And people feel that energy from you guys. Like, it is such a strong energy that people feel. And also, a lot of people can be triggered by that energy, guys. Like, a lot of people don't like it. And these are the people that need to do even more work on their mindset. You may be triggered by it. I know I certainly was. Like, when I met people that were in that main character bad bitch energy, I would get so highly triggered by it, because I'd be like, why are they so confident? Like, how are they so confident? Right? And and all of my fears and my doubts and my own insecurities would come up in that moment. So if you know that is you, that's a sure sign that we still need to work on those shadows, right? I can go into a whole episode on shadow work for you guys, because it's a big, big, big thing that we work on inside the MMM Academy. But you got to understand that you get to write your own story. And that means you get to star in it. You are the main character in your life. And so we want to talk about how you can become this version of you, right? But firstly, like, you need to know that a lot of time people struggle with it is because, you know, we follow the crowd. We don't like being the main character a lot of the time, right? Because let's be honest, it's scary, right? Being a leader can be scary because you have to step out of the crowd and do your own thing and go your own way and, you know, adopt your own beliefs. And often, like, that is so scary to people. And honestly, guys, that comes from this, it goes way back psychologically for a lot of us, way back to like cavemen and women era, where we as cavemen and women were taught to stay in the group, stay in the community, stay in the crowd, because otherwise if you found yourself lost from that crowd, you could have been freaking eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. I don't even fucking know. Yeah, like those things are so deeply ingrained in our mindset psychologically still, right? We have been taught to not step out of the crowd. But here's the thing. If you want to be successful, if you want to manifest that career, that business, that life of your dreams, you have to be able to step out of the crowd, right? And now that doesn't mean that you have to seclude yourself and be like different to everybody else, but that just means that you need to own who the fuck you are, right? There's just this energy of owning who the fuck you are, right? But we don't, because we, out of fear, out of doubt, out of worry about what other people think of us, out of wanting to do the right thing or the cool thing or whatever it is, we remain in this crowd and we are dictated by fear, right? As soon as you step out that crowd and you be your own person and you step into that main character energy, that's when things start flowing to you. And it's also when people start looking at you going, whoa, how are they doing that? How are they doing that? What is that energy? People are fascinated by this energy, okay? And this is the energy that's going to help you manifest. Because at the end of the day, you want to be magnetic. You want to be magnetic to all of your desires, whatever those desires are. And you're not going to be magnetic if you're shying away in the background, in the crowd, not putting yourself out there, because you're not going to be seen, right? Your manifestations aren't going to see you. You need to be so magnetic that they see you and they're instantly attracted to you, okay? So if we want to tap into this main character energy, then the first thing is you got to know who the hell she is or he is, right? You got to know who the hell you are in order to be able to step into those shoes, right? Because here's the thing, like a lot of the time we don't even know who we are. And this is like authentic. Like I mean why can't I speak? I mean on an authentic level, guys, right? If you don't know who you are authentically to your core, then how are you going to show up as the main character? Because the main character knows who she is, right? Like I said, she's unapologetic about it. And the reason that we find it difficult to know who we even are is because, again, if we've been following the crowd for so long out of fear, then we're literally adopting the beliefs of other people. We're adopting the behaviors of other people. We're adopting the style of other people. We're adopting, we're just not being us to our core authentically. So you want to ask yourself, like, who do you desire to be? Like, what energy do you want to embody? What legacy do you want to create? Like, what do you wear? How do you show up? Like, these are the things you want to ask yourself so you can actually get a real understanding on who the hell this person even is. Who is this main character to you, right? Does she command a room when she walks in? I know for me, like, there was just this, because guys, you've heard my story, like, only literally like 3 years ago, I was a completely different woman. I was so held back by anxiety and fear and doubt and self-hatred. And I just never showed up, right? And I would hide myself away. I'd like literally physically hide myself away. I hardly went out. Hardly go out now, but that's an entirely different reason for that. It's just because I'm a hermit. But before it was because I was scared, right? And I lived in this anxiety, and and I didn't know who I was authentically to my core, right? And one of the biggest things for me is just coming out my shell, as I said at the start of this episode, spiritually, like coming out my shell spiritually and just being like, you know what? I'm a spiritual being going, like having a human experience, and I just am owning that side of me. I talk about esoteric stuff. I talk about aliens sometimes, I talk about fairies. I talk about weird things like, you know, that before in my life, like that was all stuff that I wanted to go into. But I held myself back from that because I thought, is this too weird, you know? And those things, this is what I mean by us living through fear and not actually ever being the main character in our story, because we're scared about what other people think of us, right? For me, one of the biggest things in my own embodiment of this main character is just being entirely unapologetic about the things that light me up, right? Because there will be different things that light us up. And for me, it's being this spiritual soul, talking about these things, being obsessed with manifestation and self-development. And that's me. That is me to my core. And if you don't get that, I'm not going to be a different person around you, right? I'm going to continue being the main character in my story. And people will have to either adapt to that or leave my story, right? And that's the mindset that you need to adopt around this. Like, people either have to adapt to your magnetic energy and authentic energy, or they have to leave your damn story, right? And it is never, ever, ever the other way around to that. So you want to ask yourself, who is this character? Who is she or he? Who are they to you? You know, because again, like, if you are the main character here, all eyes are on you. And also something on that, if you find that uncomfortable, right? If you do find it uncomfortable, like let's say you're like, yes, my main character energy is this woman who like walks into the room and all eyes are on her, and that makes you feel slightly uncomfortable, then again, you gotta search through to the shadows that are lurking underneath there, because we deserve to fully embody our true selves and show up as our true selves, and actually enjoy that attention, you know, and enjoy that visibility and enjoy that energy that we're in. And especially, guys, if you're listening to this and you are a creative, a business owner, a woman that wants to attract a lover into her life, or a man that wants to attract a relationship, if you want to attract, you have to be attractive. And I don't mean that in the physical sense, guys, right? Because I believe everybody is attractive. I mean that in an energetic sense. You have to be attractive if you want to attract anything. And that means there has to be an element of you giving off that energy where people or your manifestations want to see you, right? So, who the hell is this person to you? What do they wear? Who do they hang out with? How do they show up? What is it that, you know, as I said before, what legacy is it you want to create? All of these questions you've got to ask yourself to figure out who the fuck this person even is, this character even is. And then you're able to step into the shoes. Now, the next thing I'm going to say about stepping into this main character energy is about consistency. How consistent are you actually being around being this main character? Like, how often do you actually show up as this main character? Do you show up as this main character every single freaking day? Or do you only sometimes show up as this main character when you're feeling confident enough to? Or when you feel like it's the right environment or around the right people, or essentially like the safest place to be showing up as her? Because at the end of the day, guys, there is no point in you showing up in this main character energy just to your friends and family who you know get it, and then around other people, like in other social situations, being a completely different person, being the secondary character, being the supporting character in your life, right? If you're not showing up with consistency, the universe sees that. And this is what I mean about being unapologetic, right? If you're unapologetic about who you are and stepping into this main character, then it means you've got to be the main character throughout your whole freaking life, in every area of your life. So again, another example of this would be for me when I talk about this esoteric spiritual stuff, right? spirit guides, angels, channeling past lives, all the stuff I'm working on right now. I talk about this stuff. It's easy for me to show up on this podcast and talk about it because I know the people that listen to this podcast, you guys, you all freaking get it and you love it and you want to hear about it. That's why you're here with me right now, right? At least I hope so. But listen, like this community, I can show up fine, right? I can talk about manifestation. I can talk about owning who the fuck you are. I can talk about everything that I usually talk about because I know that you get me. However, only last year, I struggled, guys. I really struggled to show up around certain family members or around certain people from my acting industry that knew me as a different person years ago, and I would cower away and I would step back and I'd find myself shifting back into the crowd and not actually being the main character in those moments. And so one of the biggest things you need to know about, again, becoming magnetic and manifesting what you want into your life is that you have to be consistent with being this unapologetic main character in every sense of your life. So if you're, one day going, oh yeah, like I'm going to get in the gym and I'm going to train this training thing with this trainer, and then like the next week you're like, oh no, I'm not doing it. Or if, as I say, you're in your community, like let's say you're in my MMM Academy and you're affirming all of these wonderful things like, yes, I am that bitch, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then you get out into your other life, let's say like your 9-to-5 job or something, and you are completely a different person. There is no consistency there. God, I really can't speak in today's episode. It's because I'm passionate. And that makes you a wobbly human, right? You've got a wobbly vibration. And one of the biggest things I teach inside my academy and to every single one of my clients is how to remain consistent in your vibration, how to manage your vibe, right? That doesn't mean that we have to be happy every day, right? Do not advocate toxic positivity over here in the JP world. But it just means that you've got to be consistent with your vibration. You've got to understand how to manage that consistency. And part of owning who the fuck you are, stepping into this main character energy means that you have to be in that main character in every area of your life. You have to be that main character every single day with every person, no matter who they are. And it's that level of consistency that the universe picks up on, and I tell you, you will be rewarded for it. So a lot of that, really, guys, is to do with valuing yourself enough, okay? And this is what your main character energy is all about. Loving yourself, valuing yourself, freaking respecting yourself enough to know that you deserve to be showing up as your true self in front of anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter how judgmental they may be or how much they've judged you in the past or how much they just won't get it. Part of this main character energy is valuing yourself enough to know that it is safe for you to show up as her, right? And again, like this really does come back to a lot of the deep inner work that I do with my students in terms of shadow work, subconscious work, a lot of inner child work too, about how it is safe for you to show up as this person. Like, you damn well deserve it. And so, again, like I said, for me personally, I went back home at the weekend, and I sat there, had a full-blown conversation with my parents about a lot of this esoteric stuff and the spiritual space that I'm in, and they're my parents, so they love and accept me, and that's fantastic. But I am, again, working on opening up my throat chakra, and this is something all of you guys need to do as well. Be unapologetic. Speak to whoever about this stuff and own it. And now that doesn't mean that you have to keep talking at someone who doesn't get it, right? Because that's a waste of your energy. No, again, the main character in your, like, as a main character, you know where you don't have to waste your energy or your time or your resources or anything. But if someone asks you a question about your beliefs, about what you believe in, freaking tell them. Don't hide that shit away, because the more you do, the more the universe is picking up on this wobbly energy from you, this inconsistent energy from you, right? So be able to speak your truth. So much of that is opening up the throat chakra, okay? And that is so much of speaking your truth is being the main character in your life. Okay, so homework then. You know I love the homework. Are you guys, honestly, like, this is so, again, so much of me as a coach is really getting down and doing the damn thing. And honestly, if you want to work on this stuff, if you want to make a change in your life, then do the homework. So homework for this week. I want you guys to ask yourself, where are you already showing up as the main character in your life? Like, what areas of your life are you actually finding it easy to show up unapologetically? Like, whether that is in, my community, let's say on my Instagram, like, you know damn well I'll be your biggest cheerleader. And so you probably find it easy to speak your truth and be yourself around my community, right? For example. But where are you not showing up as well? So I want you to ask yourself where you are showing up as the main character. And then I want you to ask yourself, why is that? Like, what is the actual reason for that right now for you? And then I want you to ask, where are you not showing up as the main character in your life? Like, what areas of your life, around who is it that you're not showing up in that energy around, and why? Why are you not showing up as the main character around these certain people or in these certain environments? Because if you can pull that apart and figure out what the hell is getting in your way, what you are getting scared about, what fears are coming up for you, what blocks are coming up for you in your mindset, and you can understand that and work through those blocks in terms of what is stopping you from being the main character in that area, you're going to be able to become a more consistent human being, right? And you're going to be able to show up more consistently as the main character in your world. And when you do that, that is when you manifest instantly, right? That is when the universe rewards you. And it's also when you feel fucking great all the time, right? Never living in fear or doubt or worry about what other people think of you. So have a little assess where you are showing up as the main character right now, and why that's easy for you right now in those areas, and where you aren't and why that's harder for you, and go through those blocks, right? Again, guys, this is all the work that I do with my students and my clients. If any of you are interested in coaching with me, currently right now, I am booked up, but there are multiple waiting lists for the Academy, the new MMM 2.0, which is going to be insane, and one-on-one coaching with me. I'm in a few talks with you guys about the one-on-one coaching, because that is my all in. For the woman who is ready to go all in, that is for you. But if you're interested, don't be afraid to just drop me a DM and we can schedule a call together. I've got a few calls booked in this week. So that is just that's just my note on that, because we want to go in deep. And if you really do want to do the inner work and you want to work on yourself, you want to get rid of these blocks and you want to become magnetic and you want to be consistently manifesting, then this is what we do here in the JP world. This is what we do, guys. So I hope that this episode has been useful for some of you. I hope that maybe it's, if anything, just been that loving kick up the ass that you need to step back into the shoes of that main character and that bad bitch and understand that you freaking deserve it, right? And of course, as always, like, anything that you're wanting to hear about on the podcast, let me know. And as always, tag me in your Instagram stories. I love to see who's been tuning in. I love to see who's listening, who's gaining anything from this. And I love sharing it. So get yourselves on Instagram and give me a little tag. Give me a little mention in your stories. And the final thing would be that, because I didn't really do a sponsor for this episode, but it would just be to, as always, come and follow me on TikTok and on Instagram and on all the platforms, really. Come and join my Facebook group. Just come and get in the community, basically, guys. There is going to be a hell of a lot of things going on very, very soon. I've had a little bit of a period where not many offers have been out, but that is because I've been working on some freaking exciting things behind the scenes that I cannot wait to bring out for you. And just multiple secrets to success that I cannot wait to bring for you all. So if you want to be the first one to get in on everything that I am bringing out, then get yourself in the community. And I will, as always, put all the links in my show notes. But I'm sending you so much love. Go and be that main character. Go and be that bad bitch. And I'll talk to you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at I am Jessica Paul so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.